So, today we're talking about a photographer who did something way more than just take pretty pictures. He basically revealed a hidden universe that's inside every single one of us, and in doing so, he completely changed how we see ourselves. This is the incredible story of Lennart Nilsson.
You know, in his own words, he was just a photographer. Super humble, right? But that fascination with humanity, that's what drove him to create some of the most breathtaking and technically genius photographs ever made. He was part photojournalist, part scientist, part inventor, a total visionary.
Okay, so picture this. It's 1965. It's a time of huge change, both socially and scientifically. And right in the middle of all of it, Lennart Nilsson publishes something that nobody had ever seen before. His photo essay, A Child is Born, lands on the cover of Life magazine, and for the first time, the world got a clear, detailed look at the very beginning of human life.
The reaction was just insane. The entire run of that issue of Life magazine, all 8 million copies of it, sold out in just 4 days. 4 days. To this day, it's considered one of the most important photo essays ever, right up there with pictures of the Kennedy assassination and the moon landing. That's how big this was.
And of course, that was the question on everyone's mind. I mean, before Nilsson, these kinds of images were pure science fiction. They just seemed completely impossible. So how on earth did he do it? Well, to really get the answer, we have to rewind a bit and look at where he started.
See, before he took that incredible journey into the human body, Lennart Nilsson was already a top-tier photojournalist. He was a master at capturing the drama of life on the outside. And that foundation, that skill for storytelling and finding the human element in any situation, that would end up being his secret weapon for all his scientific work later on.
Working for legendary places like Life magazine and the Swedish publisher Bonnier, he covered, well, everything. I mean, he was there for the liberation of Norway after World War II, he was on a boat in the Arctic documenting a polar bear hunt, and he was deep in the Congo. His photo books from this time show this incredible range, from portraits of kings to the daily lives of Salvation Army members. Each one is just a masterclass in how to tell a story with a camera.
You know, what really made Nilsson so special was his endless curiosity. He truly believed that you didn't have to travel to the ends of the earth to find a powerful story. He saw adventure everywhere, whether it was in the work of a midwife in the snowy mountains of Lapland or just the inner workings of a local bank.
So how does a famous photojournalist, a guy known for telling these big, grand stories about the outside world, pivot to a world that no one had ever even seen before? Well, the truth is, it wasn't really a pivot at all. It was more like a homecoming to a passion he'd had his entire life.
Nilsson's obsession with the microscopic world actually started when he was just a kid. His dad was a pretty technical amateur photographer who gave him his first camera when he was 12. Not long after that, he saw a documentary about Louis Pasteur and got totally hooked on microscopy. He started right there in his backyard, taking pictures of insects. And get this shows that the seeds for his future masterpiece were planted more than a decade before that famous Life cover. While he was doing all this incredible photojournalism, he was also exploring this hidden universe on the side. He was photographing ants with the same intensity he'd use for a portrait, and he'd already started working with preserved fetuses from a local hospital, perfecting the techniques that would later blow the world away. Okay, so this brings us right back to that big question. How did he actually photograph a living fetus? It wasn't just one thing. It was this revolutionary mix of artistic vision, scientific partnership, and just pure invention.
It all started with this relentless drive, this vision he had to show people the miracle of their own creation. But he knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed the best minds and the best tools in the world. And when the tools he needed didn't exist, well, he just invented them.
He basically built a dream team of innovators. He got the legendary Swedish camera maker Hasselblad to create custom camera rigs for him. The German optics giant Carl Zeiss designed unique lenses just for this project. He even adapted these super thin endoscopes from a company called Stores, using fiber optic tubes to bring light and a lens right inside the body. And he did all this work at the famous Karolinska Institute in Sweden, which gave him amazing access to medical experts.
And this is what's so brilliant. Think about it. Traditional photography is all about capturing the light that's reflecting off something. Nilsson's method was completely different. He wasn't just capturing light anymore. He became an explorer, bringing his own light source with him on these custom-built tools to navigate and illuminate the inner space of the human body. He was literally lighting up a world that had always been in total darkness.
And as you can probably guess, this unbelievable work
did not stay locked away in scientific journals. Oh no, it exploded into global culture, and it made this invisible world a part of our shared human story.
Nilsson didn't just stop at still images. He translated his work into film, producing a whole series of groundbreaking documentaries. You had films like The Saga of Life and The Miracle of Life that won multiple Emmy Awards. They used this absolutely spellbinding footage to bring his visuals from the pages of a magazine right into people's living rooms.
I mean, his legacy is just immense. In 1980, he was the very first person to receive the Hasselblad Award, which is basically the Nobel Prize of photography. He just kept pushing, using these super powerful electron microscopes to capture the first ever images of viruses like HIV. And this is my favorite part. His photos of human development were included on the Voyager Golden Records. They're literally flying through deep space right now as a greeting from humanity. How cool is that?
But in the end, his work went so far beyond just science and photography. It became part of our culture. Filmmakers like Stanley Kubrick were totally inspired by these otherworldly images. And sure, the photos sparked some intense public debates. But more than anything, they gave us all a shared visual language for our own beginnings, a photographic answer to that ancient question: where do we come from?
Lennart Nilsson was just driven by this simple, powerful curiosity to see what had never been seen before. He turned his camera away from the world around us and pointed it at the world inside us. And by doing that, he showed us a whole new dimension of what it means to be human. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other frontiers, inside or out, are just waiting for the next visionary to come along and light them up?